So whether you eat a plant or an animal or whatever, it is still violence. As a life, we have a right to nourish ourselves because this is how the food cycle is in the world. And that's what they say, even I've seen people talking to the chicken and all very nicely, and next week they'll eat them up. Today there's substantial documentation to show that plants are as sensitive as any other creature. So whether you eat a plant or an animal or whatever, it is still violence. Only thing is they don't scream. They do scream, you don't hear, that's all. There's enough evidence to show that they do scream. It has been recorded like this, that if let's say an animal comes, see among the trees, let's say there are, let's say 1,000 or 10,000 trees here. Let us say an elephant came and starts eating the leaves of the tree. Immediately this tree will send messages to all its species that it is being eaten by whatever. I don't know whether it'll recognize an elephant or not, but it is being eaten like this. And within minutes, if the elephant goes there to the other trees, all the trees would have produced a certain amount of poisonous material in their leaves. When the elephant tries to eat that, it'll taste bitter and it's poisonous, so it won't touch. So among themselves, there is that much sensitivity. So whether you pluck a fruit or a vegetable or cut a animal and eat, everything is cruel. It is just that we must do it with some sensitivity, only to the extent it's necessary. You should drop this idea of being a foodie. We all eat food, we must eat food, otherwise it'll be cruel to this one. But becoming an identity with food, not right, because that means we will indulge, we will not just nourish ourselves. We have a right to nourish ourselves. As a life, we have a right to nourish ourselves because this is how the food cycle is in the world. But we don't have a right to wantonly take another life just for pleasure. We have no business to do that. We have every right to nourish this life, but we have no right to enjoy taking another life. So don't call yourself a foodie, because food should never become the identity. For survival, for nourishment, we will eat whatever we have to eat, given the moment.
According to Sadhguru, what kind of food you eat should depend not on what you think about it or on your values and ethics, but on what the body wants. Food is about the body. Ask the body with what kind of food it is really happy. Try different foods and see how your body feels after eating it. If your body feels very agile and energetic, that means the body is happy. If the body feels lethargic and needs to be pumped up with caffeine or nicotine to stay awake, the body is not happy. If you listen to the body, it will clearly tell you with what kind of food it is happy. But right now, you are listening to your mind. Your mind keeps lying to you all the time. Hasn't it lied to you before? Today, it tells you this is it. Tomorrow, it makes you feel like a fool for what you believed yesterday. Do not go by your mind. You just have to learn to listen to your body.
Meat is a good survival food, but it is not good food for those who have many choices in front of them. Why I'm saying this is, there are many ways to look at this. Suppose you come to know at the end of this day you're going to be slaughtered. At least 50% of the struggle that you go through, the chemical volatility, the chemical volcano that bursts out within you, at least 50% of that the animal goes through. The last few moments, it always knows that it's going to be killed. Any animal which has the capacity to express some kind of emotion, its intelligence is such that it will grasp always when it's going to be killed. All this means just a certain level of negative acids and stuff which not good for you. When we kill the animal, those acidic materials are still in the meat that we consume, and when we consume this, unnecessary levels of mental fluctuations will happen. Right now, approximately 38% of India's population are pure vegetarians by, traditionally it's like that. Let's say about 50 years ago, nearly 60% were vegetarians, but Western educated doctors have been telling people, if you don't eat meat, you won't get nourishment, you have to eat some meat. So, because of that, some meat has come in, but still in India, meat eating is not like how it's in the West. It is only a side dish. Even for non-vegetarian people, it's only a side dish. But why vegetarianism is, we see if your survival is under threat, your entire life is about survival. Once survival is taken care of, now you wonder, what is this all about? Because when survival is in question, it looks like when your survival is fulfilled, everything is going to be great. But once survival is taken care of, you realize that is not the truth. Your life is longing for something else. So survival was very simple and easy, it was a rich land, people survived well. Because of that, they started looking inward and it started developing various things. And one important thing is, nearly 70% of the country's population was always actively spiritual. Turning inward was an important part of life. Because of this, when they turned inward, they realized that what they eat matters.
To get free tips on food, health, Ayurveda, lifestyle, and yoga by Sadhguru, please join our WhatsApp and Telegram link below.